Then he start asking you to find the similarity between the two texts, to find the differences between the two texts, how one reply to another. The similarity or the differences, I don't care about reading the text or the order of reading the text. You read this first, you read the second first, no problem. The main thing, to find the similarities or the differences between them. The only thing that the order is so important is when he asks you how one text reply to another. So if he asks you how text 2 reply to text 1, so in that case, you have to read text 2 carefully to reply to the part in text 1, or the opposite. So now, let's find the answers for the question for domain 2, craft and structure, and this sheet together. I ask you to solve from 1 till 5. Just let me open the answer key. And I'm gonna start from down with this time I'm gonna start with a new member. I'm gonna start with Yasin Ahmed. Yasin Ahmed, I give you the answer in front of you. I know that you didn't attend the last session, but your mom told you started the basics with one of the teacher. May you tell me, Yasin Ahmed, what this question is about? What is the sub-skill of?
This is detailed question.
No, we are in domain 2,
No.
Yasin. We are in domain
Yeah.
2. Look
Yes,
at the
yes.
sentence.
Yes. Function.
I didn't talk about the function while I'm talking about the skills. In skill number 2, we have also the function of the underlined sentence, Ahmed. Yasin, I'm sorry. When we start solving this one, we read a sentence before the underline and sentence after the underline. But the main answer actually is on the underline part. May you repeat what I said, please?
Yes.
Mhm.
We read what before the underline and after the underline, and the answer is in the underline question.
Okay. Do you know why we are reading before and after?
To know what the underline is talking about.
And because sometimes in the answers, he connected what come before and what come after to the underlined part. Okay?
Okay.
So now, here is the sentence, or here a part of the sentence. So read a part before it and read a sentence after it. Read, Yasin.
Any astronomy textbook will tell you that the moon is Earth's only natural satellite, but it would be more accurate to say that the moon is Earth's only permanent natural satellite.
Okay, now we read the part before. Now we need the sentence after. Huh?
In 2006, the Catalina Sky Survey discovered an object that's been called Earth's first confirmed mini-moon, a small 2-3 meters in diameter asteroid temporarily captured by Earth's gravity.
Okay, thank you, Ahmed. Now we read a part before and the sentence after. May you tell me what you understand from what you read and why the underlying part, or what is the function of the underlying part without looking at the choices?
They said that they discovered another object
No,
that orbits.
before. Okay, look, before he said what? That the moon is Earth's only natural satellite. So now he
Yes,
described the moon that it's the only one satellite that is natural. In the underlying part, he said what?
the moon is Earth's only permanent natural satellite.
What he add? The word what?
Permanent.
Permanent. So before he didn't say that, but here he add permanent. And after that he said what?
He said that they discovered another object that is called Earth's first command mini-moon.
But it's not permanent. Okay? So
Yes.
now let's look at the choices. Why choice A is the best answer, Yasin?
It adds a modifying detail to an earlier assertion. It said it modify a detail to an earlier assertion. The detail is that it's permanent.
Excellent. Because before he said the moon is Earth only a natural satellite, and he repeat the same sentence, but he add an adjective, permanent, a modifying detail. طب why B is wrong?
It describes the consensus view that it was over, over,
Overturn.
overturned by the discovery of the object discussed in the text.
Does he make anything like that in the underlying part?
No,
Okay.
it
C.
it emphasizes an exception to an earlier generation to suggest that objects like the one discussed in the text have been misclassified. It didn't say that it's classified or any exception.
Yeah, in the underlying part, he doesn't make any misclassification. And another thing, he doesn't give exception. He just add another adjective. Okay, D.
It draws an important distinction between objects like the one discussed in the text and artificial objects with similar characteristics.
Does he do that?
No,
He doesn't talk about artificial. Even the mini moon here is not artificial. Okay, thank you, Ahmed. Perfect. So again, I'm gonna repeat. In this skill, he asks us about the function of the underlying sentence or the underlying portion. What you're gonna do that you read a part or read a sentence before and the sentence after, and concentrate on the underlying part. Here, what he said. An astronomy textbook will tell you that the moon is Earth's only natural satellite. Okay, now he make a generalization. Just give us a definition for the moon. That the moon is Earth's only natural satellite. Is the generalization? No. Because generalization, when I said that all people are generous, but here he make it specific. So here it's not generalization. But it would be more accurate to say that the moon is Earth's only permanent natural satellite. So now he repeat this part, but he add another modifying word to it. Permanent, adjective. In 2006, the Catalina Sky Survey discovered an object that's been called Earth's first confirmed mini moon, a small 2-3 meter in diameter asteroid temporarily captured by Earth gravity. Take care. He talk about nature. He doesn't take or talk about any kind of artificial stuff. بيتكلم على asteroid, and you know that the asteroid are rocks, built of rocks actually. I think between Mars and Earth. Let's find. So the underlying part, it adds a modifying detail. Yes, he add permanent, and even he make it italic. To an earlier assertion, yes, this is an assertion that the moon is Earth's only natural satellite. To imply the existence of object like the one discussed in the text, yes, because here he mentioned another one that called mini moon, so it can be A. It described the consensus view that was overturned by the discovery of the object discussed in the text. Nothing was overturned. Moon is the only natural satellite, permanent. So nothing is overturned. Nothing is actually start to be shown that there is an error. It emphasized an exception to an earlier generalization. This is not a generalization. This is something specific. To suggest that object like the one discussed in the text has been misclassified, we didn't make any kind of misclassification. The last one, it draws an important distinction between object like the one discussed in the text and artificial object with similar characteristic. Here maybe a distinction, but he doesn't talk about artificial objects at all. All of them are natural. So the answer is A. Let's go to number 2 and Rahaf Yahya. What the skill of this one, Rahaf?
The main purpose.
What you're gonna do in the main purpose?
We're gonna read the whole text.
I'm sorry again?
We're gonna read the whole text.
No. Rahaf.
On the first and last sentence.
Now, the first and last sentence. Forget about what I highlight. The
Okay.
first and last sentence. If you're gonna look here, Rahaf, you're gonna find that it's only 2 sentences. Did the first, did the last. Do you read the introduction, Rahaf?
No.
No. Okay. Read now.
Laugh and the world laughs with you. Weep and you weep alone. For the brave old earth must pour its mirth. It has troubles enough of its own. Sing and the hills will answer. sigh, it is lost on the air. The echoes rebound to a joyful sound, but shrink from a voicing care.
What do you understand from the first and last sentence without reading the choices?
It's like emotions.
Okay, he talked about emotions. He said laugh, and the word will be with you.
Yes.
Cry, and no one is gonna be with you. The last sentence, the same thing. Sing, and the hills will sing with you. Sigh, and nothing will reply. Okay, let's find why A is wrong.
To explore how people use laughter, no. It's talking about if you laugh, the world is gonna laugh with you, not about the people.
Okay, so he doesn't talk about how to explore laughter in song to cope with difficult emotions, yes?
Yes.
Because actually he want to cancel any emotion that they are difficult. Okay, B.
To make the case that it's only through solitude that we can come to truly appreciate the full range of our emotions. It didn't talk about solitude or
Yeah, he doesn't want us to be alone.
yes.
Actually, he wants us to laugh, to sing. C.
To argue that people should be equally no, it didn't talk about that people should
We
be
didn't talk about
equal.
equality.
Yes.
We didn't talk about equality between positive and negative emotion. No,
Yes.
negative emotion are canceled. D.
To claim that positive emotions are well received by the world, while negative emotions are shunned. Yes, that's exactly what
Yes, thank you,
we
Rob.
told.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, so in this question, actually, whenever you find the main purpose, you read the first sentence and last sentence, forget about the introduction. We are lucky here because the whole text are two sentences all. He said here, laugh, and the word laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. Cry, and you cry alone. For the brave old earth must pour its mirth, because earth will not survive actually with any negative emotion. It has troubles enough of its own. The last sentence. Sing, and the hills will answer. Whenever you sing, you're gonna find the hills will answer. Sigh, it's lost on the air. The echoes rebound to a joyful sound, but shrink from voicing care. If you sigh, cry, no one will reply. So here in A, to explore how people use laughter in song to cope with difficult emotion, no, he actually talk about laughter in song, but not to cope with difficult emotion. You want to cancel any difficult emotion, to make the case that it's only through solitude that we can come to truly appreciate the full range of our emotion. No, he doesn't talk about loneliness. Solitude means loneliness. He talk about that we have to be open. We have to have positive emotion. To argue that people should be equally sympathetic toward the positive emotion and the negative emotion of other. No, he said to cancel any negative emotions at all. D. To claim that positive emotion are well received by the world, while negative emotion are shunned. Shunned means avoided. Yes, hear what he told. Whenever you laugh, the earth will laugh. Whenever you cry, weep, you're gonna weep alone. So the answer is D. Let's go to number 3 and Ala.
Yes, mister.
What is the skill is about?
It's also main purpose
What you're gonna
question.
do?
I'm gonna read the first and last sentence.
Okay, you read, please.
In most building demolitions, the building materials are destroyed and sent to landfills.
Okay.
The remaining materials were processed for recycling instead of going to a landfill.
Okay. Now, depending on the first and last sentence, we are gonna just eliminate the choices that they are not related, Yala. Let's read
Okay.
A.
To explain an effort made by the city of Portland to reduce demolition waste and some results of that effort.
Why this is actually near to the answer, or we can keep it.
Because actually it states the goal for this and the aim for this, which is reducing the demolition waste
Excellent.
and by the city of Portland.
But he doesn't mention City of Portland, just to be clear. In the first
Yeah,
sentence and last
it
sentence,
explains in later
yeah, he doesn't mention
sentences.
it. Because of that, I put a circle in. But
Okay.
he talk about demolition, waste, and the results in the first and last. So I keep it.
Yeah.
Let's look at B.
To discuss laws aimed to reduce demolition. Actually, there is no laws in the
In the first and last. Okay.
yeah.
He doesn't talk about any kind of laws. Nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing. Even here, he didn't
There
compare
is no
them to other
comparison.
laws in other cities. Because actually, we can't find the city Portland. So where are the other cities? So here, completely wrong. No part here is right. So I cancel it. C.
To show that popular support for measures that reduce demolition waste has increased since 2019, he didn't mention increasing or decreasing in the
He doesn't mention
context.
decrease or increase, but he mentioned about reduce demolition waste.
Yeah.
But so because of that, I said that maybe because of this, maybe you're right. But he doesn't mention the increasing and the date. But we said that maybe you're right. So now we have A and C. Huh?
So argue that building deconstruction is not as effective as other measures at reducing demolition waste. He also he didn't argue.
Okay, he doesn't make any kind of argument, and
Yeah,
he
he was
didn't
just
talk about
stating.
deconstruction. Is that right? Okay, so we cancel D. So because now I'm between A and C, what I'm gonna do?
I can read the whole text so I can
Excellent.
understand
But
more.
I'm not gonna return to B and D. Now cancel B and D. We are between A and C, but after reading the whole text. May you read it, please?
City officials in Portland, Oregon wanted to reduce this waste. The officials passed a law requiring demolition companies to deconstruct some buildings instead. Deconstruction involves carefully taking buildings apart piece by piece. Damage to the materials is avoided so that they can be reused in new constructions. A 2019 study found that 27% of materials from deconstructions in Portland were able to be reused.
So
The remaining,
that means he didn't talk about increasing or decreasing. That right?
yeah,
And he mentioned here at 2019 found that
study.
27% of material. So he doesn't talk about reduced demolition waste has increased. Yeah, I know that it's increased, but it's not the main part for me. The main part of me that there is an effort made by the state of Portland to reduce demolition waste. Is that right?
Yeah, that states the main purpose more clearly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, now again, whenever you find the main purpose, read the first sentence and last sentence. Then you start eliminating the wrong answers and keep the right answer. Sometimes you're going to find that only one answer that is going to be accepted. But just to be sure that did the right answer, read the whole text. The why from the beginning we did read the whole text because you're going to find law. So maybe you're going to say that there is a law here. So maybe you did the answer. So take care of that. So in most building demolitions, the building material are destroyed and sent to landfills. The last sentence, the remaining materials were processed for recycling instead of going to a landfill. So he canceled this part. Instead of destroying it and sending to a landfill, we're going to do recycling for it. So here to explain an effort made by the city of Portland to reduce demolition waste and some result of that effort, it doesn't talk about city of Portland, but there is a kind of reducing demolition. Why? Because we're going to recycle it. B, to discuss laws aimed to reduce demolition waste in Portland and compare them to similar laws in other cities. We didn't talk about any laws in first sentence or last sentence, so I cancel it. To show that popular support for measure that reduce demolition waste has increased since 2019, he talked about reduced demolition, as we said in the last one, by making recycling, but he didn't talk about any increasing since 2019. Maybe I'm gonna say that it's right. To argue that building deconstruction is not as effective as other measure at reducing demolition waste, we didn't talk about deconstruction comparing it to demolition waste, whether in the first and the last. So now what we're gonna do, cancel B and D, and now we're gonna look at A and C by reading the whole text. In most building demolition, the building material are destroyed and sent to landfills. City officials in Portland, Oregon wanted to reduce this waste. The officials passed the law, only one law, requiring demolition companies to deconstruct. So he didn't compare demolition to deconstruction. Some building instead. Deconstruction involved carefully taking building apart piece by piece. Damage to the material is avoided so that they can be reused in new constructions. A 2019 study found that 27% of material from deconstructions in Portland were able to be reused. The remaining material were processed for recycling instead of going to landfill. So the best part is no C because it doesn't talk about that since 2019 we have a kind of increasing. He said only a 2019 study. He didn't talk about after what happened. So A is the right answer. Number 4 and Dima.
Okay. This is main purpose.
Okay, what you're gonna do?
So we're supposed to read the first sentence and the last sentence.
Okay, we're not gonna read the introduction. May you read, please?
Yeah. Okay. More than 2 years ago, my parents bought a piano from some people who were moving to Utah. It wanted to be set free.
Okay, what it wanted to be free, what it refers to?
Like the piano.
The piano, yes? Okay,
No.
so now you read the first and last. Now start eliminating, huh?
Okay. So, wait, sorry.
Read the first
It
two.
suggests that the narrator's brothers are talented piano players.
Does it talk about
No,
brothers here?
no.
Okay.
It describes the event that led the narrator's parents to buy a piano. No,
Like it talk about
I
the
don't
event
think
itself
so.
that led the parents to buy the piano?
No.
Okay. C.
It explains why the narrator always wanted a piano close to her bedroom.
Does it talk
No,
about that?
that's not even mentioned.
Okay.
It establishes how the narrator feels about the piano.
Yes, here he said that it wanted to be set free. And we know the piano
Oh,
would not feel like that, but it's a kind of feeling, that right?
yeah.
So maybe D. Just now,
Okay.
I find only one answer that can be accepted, Yadima. Just to be
Uh-huh.
sure that my answer is right, you have to read
We
what?
read everything?
Yes, the whole text. Okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So again, the main purpose. Read the first sentence and last sentence. Here he said, more than 2 years ago, my parents bought a piano from some people who were moving to Ara. The last one, it wanted to be set free. What it? The piano. So it suggests that the narrator brothers are talented piano players. We didn't talk about the brother. Thank you. It described the event that led narrator parents to buy a piano. He said only the buy or the bought. He didn't talk about the event. So cancel. It explained why the narrator always wanted a piano too close to her bedroom. He didn't say that it's close or why she wanted. So cancel. It established how the narrator feels about the piano, maybe about a feeling, because here it said it wanted to be set free. But just to want to be sure that my answer is right, I'm going to read the whole thing. The following text is from Holly Goldberg Salone's 2017 novel short. More than 2 years ago, my parents bought a piano from some people who were moving to Ara. Mom and dad gave it to my brothers and me for Christmas. I had to act really happy. It talk about feeling because it was such a big present. But I pretty much hated the thing, hated feeling. The thing from the second it was carried into the hallway upstairs, which is next to my bedroom. So she doesn't want it to her bedroom, next to her bedroom. The piano glared at me, feeling. It was like a songbird in a cage. It wanted to be set free, so the answer is D, as we said. The last question. Rahaf Abdel Karim.
Yes.
What this question is?
To identify like the function of the underlined sentence
So the
or
function of the
portion.
underlined sentence. How we answer it?
We read sentence before and sentence after the underlined part.
Okay, let's go.
The procession of weary soldiers became a bedraggled train, despondent and marching with training effort in a trough of liquid brown mud under a low, wretched sky. Yet the youth smiled, for he saw that the world was a world for him, though many discovered it to be made of curses and walking sticks. He had rid himself of the red sickness of battle.
May you tell me what you understand from the three sentences?
That although that the soldiers are really tired and feel just depressed from the things that they saw, except that this youthful soldier has been, when he saw the world after the war, I guess, he saw it as something good. There's still hope in the world.
So there is a comparison between him and other soldier, that right?
Yeah.
And he has a kind of stability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's look at the choices, please.
It contrasts Henry's emotional state with that of the other soldiers. Could be. It highlights the physical and emotional toll that the war has taken on the soldiers. This is incorrect because we haven't spoken about all of the soldiers, except
Yes.
for this one
There is a
youthful
comparison.
soldier.
There is a contrast between one and others. Okay. See.
It presents a shift in Henry's perception of the natural world. It's not accurate because we haven't really spoken about Henry's perception.
Yes. We didn't talk about him before. It was only mentioned here. Okay.
It emphasizes Henry's sense of exhaustion in the aftermath of the battle. No, this is the opposite.
Yeah, he's not exhausted at all. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. So again, whenever we find the function of the underlying sentence, we read the sentence before, sentence after, but you're going to concentrate on the underlying part. Here he said the procession of weary soldier, tired, became a bedraggled train, despondent and mattering, marching with churning effort in a trough of liquid brown mud under a low, rich sky. The main sentence now. Yet there is a kind of contradiction. The youth smiled, for he saw that the word was a word for him. Though many discovered it to be made of curse and walking sticks, so are many the other soldiers. He had read himself of the rich sickness of the battle, who he, the youth. So it contrasts Henry's emotional state with that of the other soldiers. So maybe Henry is the youth that he spoke about here, and he contrasts what he felt with others. Yes, it highlights the physical and emotional toll. Toll means tiredness that the war has taken on the soldier. He didn't talk about all of them. He talked only about soldier, but this man is not. It presents a shift in Henry's perception of the natural world. It doesn't introduce Henry before just to say that there is a shift. It emphasizes Henry's sense of exhaustion in the aftermath of the battle. He's not exhausted at all. So the answer is A. Perfect. So now it was the homework of last time. We solved till number 5. Now you're gonna start solving number 6 and write the answer in the chat box, please. Solve number 6 and write the answer on the chat box, please. I'm still waiting the answer from Asir Ayman and Dima for number 6. Still waiting for Asir Ayman. Asir Ayman, don't sleep يا Asir. You keep with me, please. Okay. We have only one that got this question wrong. This is my turn now. I'm going to explain about myself. Asir Ayman. Whenever we ask about the main purpose, whenever we ask about the main purpose, we read the first sentence and last sentence, Yasser. Here he said Jacques Holmes's Torchy Brown in Dixie to Harlem, 1937-38, was the first comic strip by a black woman to appear in a widely read newspaper. So here it just gives us an example of one of the magazine, one of the comic strip that start appearing in a newspaper, that written by a black woman. Okay, Torchy Brown, this one, thus shows how Orms use comic to comment humorously on issues affecting Black American, which she continued to do throughout her career. There is something called black comedy اللي هي الكوميديا السوداء. ان احنا دي طبعا الناس اللي ان شاء الله كلكم تبقوا اطباء ومهندسين ودكاتره، بس احنا عندنا في الجامعه بنيجي ندرسها للشباب بتوع الادب، اللي هو اداب يعني بيدخل اداب. We call it's black comedy. Why black comedy? Because you are laugh at your life. يعني انت بتسخر من حياتك. فهير what he said, her way Torchy, that it shows Orms that she comment humorously about issue affecting black people or black American people. And she was a black woman. And this her way actually. So, to give an example of how Orm presented the experiences of black American in her comic strip, yes, it shows. Even it make a kind of humorous issue upon what American people or black Americans start be affected with. To show how Orm's Torchy Brown inspired other black women to write comic strip in the 1930s, we didn't talk about other black women. We're talking about only her. So thank you. This is wrong. To claim that several characters in Torchy Brown were passed on people that Orms knew personally. We didn't talk about characters. We didn't talk about characters here, Asir. To choose C. To illustrate how the subject Orms addressed in her comic strips it changed over the course of the career. No, here is shit she continued to do throughout her career. So she never changed. So cancel that. So the right answer is A. And again, just to be sure that your answer is right, read the whole text. Asir Ayman, clear?
Yes.
Number 7. Not this, I'm sorry. Number 7. Write the answer in the chat box. I'm still waiting for Nardine and Raf Yahya.
Mister, I sent it.
So Yassine, I think. So waiting for Nardine. Okay. Unfortunately, also one got it wrong. Number 7, one got it wrong. Let's find together. Here he asked about the function of the underlying sentence. So we said, whenever we have the function, concentrate on the underline, but read a sentence before and sentence after. We don't have after, we have before. So here he said, much of the historical evidence of this help. نركز مع بعض بس كده. Sometimes in the sentence before بيبقى في حاجات I don't understand it or I don't get what does it mean. يعني هنا I talk about this help. طب what kind of help that is talking about؟ فما فيش مشكلة ان اقرا sentence قبلها. يعني it's better to read a sentence before just to clarify what this kind of this help. لان the answer actually is on the underlying part. So here he said, historian Taya Miles and Roy E. Finkbein have both documented the assistance indigenous people gave to black freedom seekers leaving the South before the U.S. Civil War. So here we are talking about how people, indigenous means people that they are native, the original American people, help black people to just be free. Much of the historical evidence of this help come from indigenous oral tradition. How we know? Because it passed through oral tradition, word of mouth, and from autobiography, or people start writing, written by the freedom seekers. One such narrative, so there's an example of the thing that we start knowing from it, how indigenous people help black people in America to be free. One such narrative is German Logan's autobiography. There's an example, and there's the underlying part, which tells about how Nashanibi, Potawatomi villagers offered him food. So these are the indigenous. They helped this black man lodging and direction during his 1835 journey from Tennessee to Canada. So it suggests that most historians in the underlying part believe that Anishinaabe villagers were more successful in assisting freedom seekers than other people were. We didn't compare them to other people. This is an example. No. It shows why Lugman decided to write in great detail about his experiences traveling from Tennessee to Canada in his autobiography. This is not, I'm not talking about the detail. I'm talking about that how those people start helping and I give an example. No. To provide an example of an autobiography, yes. That describe help given by an indigenous people to a black freedom seeker, yes. Here we are talking about how indigenous people or Native American help black people to be free. And this is an example, so it can be. It argues that autobiography are particular important sources of information about geography in the United States before the Civil War. We didn't talk about geography. We're talking about one example actually that start to be given how native speakers start helping black people. So the answer is C. Clear, Ali Morsi?
Clear, Mister.
Okay. Number 8. The last question. No, we have 2 questions. Number 8, the overall structure. Find the answer and write it on the chat box, please. I'm still waiting for the answer of Nardine and Yasin Ahmed. Okay, perfect, all of you. Number 8. Again, whenever he talk about the structure, what we're gonna do? Read the first sentence. So then read the first part of each choice. طب if the choices consist of parts تعال نشوف كده. تعال نشوف كده. And then and then and then and then يعني here we have two parts. So read the first sentence and the first part. And if it match, okay. If it doesn't match, cancel. Here he said what? Hiroshi Senju is known worldwide for his paintings of waterfalls. It gives an opinion of an artist. Yes. Yes. Known worldwide. It explains a specific painting technique. No. No. It describes a famous painting. No. It talk about paintings. It introduced an artist. Yes. So now I'm between A and D. Look, it's easy. Now I'm between A and D. What you're going to do after that? Read the rest of the text, but don't go to the eliminated one. These paintings are large and tend not to show the entire waterfall. Instead, Senju focuses on just the point where the falling water reaches the pool below, keeping the top of the waterfall out of view. While Senju's paintings are rooted in art movements originating in the United States, the artist used traditional Japanese technique and materials that make his work instantly recognizable. Let's find out the second part. Suggest multiple reasons. Dr. Loss. Suggest multiple reasons why the artist's work has been largely overlooked. Overlooked means ignored. No. No. Here. And then explain some common characteristics of well-known paintings by the artist. Yes, it took about the characteristics by the artist. So the answer is D. All of you got it right and did the easy way to solve this skill. The last question, number 9. Waiting for Yasser Ayman. Did you solve this question, Yasser? Okay. All of you got it right. Alhamdulillah. Again, the function of the underlined sentence. Whenever you find this, read a sentence before and sentence after. Take care. The sentence before. Sometimes it has things that I don't understand. I take sentence before, no problem. Because the answer actually is on the underlined part. Here he said, but studies. But means a contradiction to what come before. So I have to write what come before just to know. He said genetic studies have led researchers to suggest that turtles are most closely related to the group that includes modern crocodiles. Okay. Now, he said that the genes show that turtles are close to crocodile, modern crocodile. But studies contradiction of fossils have suggested instead that turtles are most closely related to other groups, such as the one that contains modern snakes. So there is a contradiction that they said no, turtles are not related to modern crocodile. They are related to modern snakes. Another contradiction. And then the main part. However, many of the fossils, so we talk about the second sentence, studies have relied on incomplete data sets. So there is a problem. So I can't depend on that part that they are related to modern snakes because they depend on incomplete data. For a 2022 investigation, biologist Tiago R. Simons and colleagues examined more than 1,000 reptile fossils collected worldwide. Okay, let's find the underlined part. It offers an overview of the tools scientists use to examine fossils. Where are the tools? He didn't talk about the tools. He talked about the weaknesses that happen. It describes a limitation of some studies about the origin of turtles. Yes, there is a weakness, a limitation, trouble, a problem. It criticizes a widely held belief about genetic studies of reptile. It criticizes, but it's not a widely, because this is the second hypothesis. They said in the beginning that it looks like modern crocodile, then after that modern snakes, then he start to actually find weaknesses about modern snakes. It summarizes previous research on the evolution of crocodile. We're not talking about crocodile, we're talking about turtles. And it didn't talk about the evolution here. So the answer is B, and all of you got it right. Let me send this for you first. I'm gonna send this file for the people that they like to revise and watch the recording again to find if there's a mistake with them. Not all of the people send me their email that they open YouTube with to have this file. براحتهم براحتهم. كل واحد بياكل على ايه؟ في مثل كده يعني بيتقال بس انا مش فاكره والله. كل واحد عارف مصلحته. احنا we are pushing. لكن everyone knows what he wants. انا بعمل ريكوردنج عشان الناس تراجع تاني ومره واثنين وثلاثه وتسمع. وقلت لنا نبعت الايميل بتاعكم عشان احطه، بس عدد قليل بس اللي بعت. طيب. Did the answer? Yassine, I'm gonna send to your mom, okay? Okay. Last time, actually, in my website, I think we solved something after 4B. احنا آخر مرة احنا مراجعين مع بعض 4B. آخر مرة مراجعين مع بعض 4B. خليني بس أشوف. آخر حاجة احنا مراجعين مع بعض تيست 4B. خلينا نشوف ايه التيست اللي بعد كده حليناه مع بعض، لان انا متهيألي احنا حلينا 2 تيست افتر لكن ما رجعناهمش مع بعض. فخليني كده اشوف. Test 5. We solved test 5. So let me send test 5 and start solving together. هبعت test 5 ونحله مع بعض. كنت انا قلت لكم ساعتها ان test 5 or test 6 one of them actually is real وانا عدلت عليه طبعا. I've sent test 5 to the group. And Yasin, I sent it to you, mom. Okay. Let's find together test 5. Let me close this and close this. As you can find here, test 5. Okay. I want you to solve number 1, please. In test 5, solve number 1, please, and write on the chat box. There's a full test. You solved before, and now we're going to solve it together. رهف الباز. Only number 1 يا رهف. Don't hurry يا رهف. Yasin Ahmed, waiting for your answer for number 1. Okay, all of you got it right also. Let's find together the answer. As you know that the beginning of the test actually start to be a kind of domain 2 that is vocab. انتوا كده شفتوا الانسر بتاع number 2 الله يسامحكم. Okay. So as you can find, the first thing that we come to when we are answering, we find the connotation for each word. What is the connotation? We know that each word has positive connotation, negative connotation, or neutral connotation, like the word ominous and the word promising. Ominous and promising, talking about the future. But ominous is negative. Ominous is negative. مبهم. Promising is positive, like home and house. You know that home is positive, House is neutral. So let's find. Indicated by, neutral. Handmade from, neutral. Represented by, neutral. Collected with, neutral. طب why, Dr. Tamer, you are looking at the connotation? Because sometimes we're going to have 3 positive and 1 negative. So we're going to answer it with the odd one out. That it's the negative. But you have also to look at the context clue. Whenever you have neutral, even if it's 1, go to the context clue. Let's find. Artist Merlene Dingle's intricate means complicated, coiled baskets are sweet grass and pimento palm. These are materials. Okay, let's go. Following a gala technique, materials and technique that originated in West Africa, Dingle skillfully wins how they made it. A thin palm frond, how they made it with the material, frond, around a bunch of sweet grass with the help of a sewing bone to create the basket signature look that no factory can reproduce. So these handmade from. Handmade from. It's easy. Let's go to number 2. And number 2 also vocab. Write the answer in the chat box, please. I'm waiting for Asir Ayman and Rahaf Abdul Kareem. Asir Ayman, still waiting for your answer. Okay, we have only one that got it wrong. Let's find together. Yasin Ahmed, concentrate with this one. Here he said, a lonely negative, a disagreeable negative, an acceptable positive, an extraordinary positive. So now we have 2 positive, 2 negative. Now let's go to the context clue to find it's positive or negative. Then after that, find the answer. It said the following text is adapted from Nathaniel Hawthorne, 1837 story, Dr. Hedgeger's experiment. The main character, a physician, is experimenting with rehydrating a dried flower. يعني هو بيحيي وردة جافة. اهي بيحييها. At first, the rose lay slightly on the surface of the fluid. appearing to imbibe. Imbibe means to absorb none of its moisture. Soon, however, a singular change began to be visible. Singular change. Singular change. There is a change happen. Is it lonely, disagreeable, acceptable, extraordinary? But from up, we know that he is rehydrating a dried flower. يعني حاجة أصلا في أعجوبة. A miracle. Began to be visible. The crushed and dried petal stirred and assumed a deepening tinge of crimson, as if the flower were reviving, start to be alive again from a death-like slumber. How someone that died start to be alive again. So it's an extraordinary. Yasin Ahmed, clear? Yasin Ahmed, clear? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to number 3, and again it's vocab. Ala asked me a question. Isn't extraordinary neutral? It can be neutral, but I can consider here it's something that goes to positive more. Why? Because it revives. It's something strange. Clear, Ala?
Yeah, okay.
I'm still waiting the answer from Nardeen, Asir Ayman, and Rahaf Abdul Karim. Still waiting for Asir Ayman and Rahaf Abdul Karim. Okay. Unfortunately, this question, I don't know it start to be hard or not. But I have 1, 2, 3. 3 got it wrong. Ali Morsi, Nardeen, and Ala. Let's find. Proficient, something excellent. It's positive. Dogmatic means depend on opinion. Opinionated, depend on opinion. So it's a neutral. Ambiguous, something that is unclear, negative. Unpretentious means something genuine. Real, it's positive. So now we have two positive, one neutral, one negative. Can I use the odd one out? No. So what you're gonna do, because we have neutral, go to the context clue. Here he said rejecting the premise that the literary magazine Ebony and Topaz 1927 should present a unified vision of Black American identity. Editor Charles S. Johnson fostered his contributor diverse perspective by promoting their authorial autonomy, that they can control everything. Johnson's self-effacement diverged from the editorial stances, diverge, not be the same, of W.E.B. Du Bois and Alan Locke, whose decision for their publication were more here, if you're gonna come, it's not a positive, it's not a negative. It's not positive, it's not negative. And here he talk about rejecting. Then he start talking about that this person, that Charles, actually has diverged from the editorial stance, from the point of view of others. So here it's better to choose dogmatic. It's better to choose dogmatic to express their opinion. Decision for their publication were more dogmatic to express their opinion. Ali Morsi clear?
Yes, Mr.
Nardine clear?
Yes.
Alaa clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, the function of the underlying sentence. I'm still waiting for Nardine and Asr Ayman. Okay. Unfortunately, this question only one got it wrong. Yassine, concentrate with me. As we said before, when you have a function of the underlying sentence, we take a sentence before and sentence after. We don't have a sentence before, but we have a sentence after. And here he start the text with a question. And if you remember writing, that you talk it in the school, when the teacher asks you to make a grabbing statement or a hook in the beginning to grab the attention of the reader. And one of the things is rhetorical questions like this one. So here he asks, how lifelike are they? Does he wait from you the answer? No. It's just to grab the attention. How lifelike are they? Then you start answering it. Many computer animators prioritize this question as they strive to create ever more realistic environments and lighting. Thank you. Let's find. So it reflects a primary goal that many computer animators have for center components of the animation they produce. Yes, how lifelike are they? And they start to say that the computer animators search for this to answer for this question, to have a goal, to make it more realistic, to make the enemy more realistic. Yes. It represents a concern of computer animators. This is not a concern. Or it can. Let's continue. Who are more interested in creating unique backgrounds and lighting effects than realistic one? No, they need it to be more realistic. Not to be more than not to be realistic. They need it to be realistic. It conveys the uncertainty, the question, among many computer animators about how to create realistic animation using current technology. Maybe they are not certain, but after that he said that this question actually, that they put it as a goal, just to create more realistic environment. No. It illustrates a reaction that audiences typically have to the appearance of character created by computer animator. We didn't talk about the audience. We're talking about computer animators. So the answer is A. Yassine Ahmed, clear?
Yes, Mr.
Okay. Your homework for the next time is gonna be from number 5 till number 14. From 5 till 14. Plus, you're gonna have a homework in one prep. Practice 5, module 2, hard. See you next time. And don't forget to send your email that you open YouTube with to put for you the recording. Goodbye.
Bye, Mr.
Bye.